Didn't I tell you I was going to be back with part 3? I know that it's been a while since I've reacted to this, but I told you I'd be here, I'd be back. I'm back here reacting to King Von, rap's first serial killer. This has been the most informative thing I've watched about King Von so far. I feel like he's really out here who does these documentaries and does these things. I've learned a lot. I already know quite a lot because I've watched so many videos to do with King Von and, you know, the things surrounding him. But this one is definitely been very informative so far. So we're on part 3. I think there is going to be another part. So after this part, just be patient and I will drop part 4. Before I jump into this, jump over to my Instagram, follow me over there. Thank you for showing love. Follow me so you know when I'm dropping videos like this. I'll always let you know when I'm dropping new reaction videos and all that good stuff. But I'm not really going to be saying much today. Not going to lie. I might be pausing. But yeah, I'm going to jump straight into it. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching and I'm going to jump straight into it. Also, if you haven't already, check out part 1 and part 2. Okay, great stuffs.
King Von had started out October 2018 strong, fresh off the back of his song and music video Problems, where he appeared to celebrate his gang murdering O-Block rival on Get Right. Von would continue pushing his career forward, dropping a full music video for his first song, Beat That Body with THF Bezu, which featured an intro where they both walked out of jail together. Outside of the music, Von was also beginning to notice the many videos being made about him and his past, even resharing a YouTube video breaking down his Twitter beef with FBG Duck, seemingly unhappy. Clearly, Von was monitoring his reputation on social media and cultivating his brand as the toughest rapper out. Doing all of this whilst real violent crimes would continue to play out on the streets of Chicago where he was from. Just before 4 p.m. on October the 9th, 2018, Chicago rapper Dusky the Man, real name Ventrease Chris, would be shot in the head on the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue, apparently the result of a drive-by carried out by a passing ground vehicle. Wow. The evening before the murder took place, Von would tweet that there's a dark cloud over Chicago. King Von would go on live a few days later with Lil Durk, saying that he's smoking Dusky, KI, Tuka, and P5.
A lot of Superman ass like that. A lot of fat ass Dusky in the L, a lot of K on the L.
E-Dog in there.
A lot of P5 in the L. Light bitch bigger in the L. Okay, you got his foot up.
Know what's going on,
Put your foot down.
Hey, niggas, man.
Oh, hey, I ain't said change, man. You a gangster. Only gangsters get that.
You a beat what you on?
You look nice. You looking real like it's shining
like
up.
a PG like that, so play a gangster.
Damn, shining up in.
Violence was continuing to play out in the streets, and Von was loving it, because he would continue taking the details of killings his crew were allegedly involved in and placing them into musical gangbanging anthems. Just after a week after the Dusky shooting on October the 18th, he dropped a new song called War With Us, notable for lyrics that appear to take credit for the murder of female driller KI, as well as lines dissing Tuka, and Von ending the song literally saying that he is a hitman. Von was dangerous, but now he was beginning to make it as a rapper. He wanted the whole world to know just how dangerous he really was. And one of the biggest enemies he wanted to get even with is a Tukaville GD by the name of Wooski. Von and Wooski had been going back and forth all the way back to 2012, when Von was catching bodies in Chicago. Von and Wooski had an infamous exchange on Twitter after trying to catch each other lacking at the local convenience store. Von would tweet at Wooski, bragging about people Wooski knew who Von or his friends had killed, something that Wooski would do back to Von in response. In one shocking back and forth in 2012, Von even bragged to Wooski that he had more bodies and attempts than him, with the two arguing about who would end up getting killed first. Not only did Von and Wooski's feud in the streets run deep all the way back before 2012, but now that Von was trying to make it as a rapper, he would be contending with the likes of Wooski picking up a microphone too, with Wooski having dropped the very disrespectful song Computers at the start of 2018, a track that featured numerous lyrics insulting dead O-Block affiliates like Big A, J Money, White, Chino, and O.D. Perry. Wooski even ended the song saying that they're on the hunt for the killers of Poppy and TB, two of the prominent murders seemingly committed by O-Block's Get Back gang. So, the beef between Von and Wooski...
Get Back gang as well. I'm going to react to the documentary, the story of the Get Back gang as well, so keep a lookout for that. I'll probably try and do that this week sometime, so keep looking out.
was incredibly personal, and Wooski was also very close with the recently deceased Dusky, with them having made the song Shooters together. Just a few days after Dusky was killed, King Von and others from O Block would FaceTime Wooski, telling him that they were going to catch him by surprise.
This your big brother, yeah, you know the That's your big brother, you know. I wish I could say one of y'all was my boy. We got all groupies over there. I ain't talking about the do it, so got no what's all about the courage with me? We gonna surprise. It's time about tonight. We gonna surprise, bro. The bitches out for the free. But you talking about tonight.
So, from here, it seems like Wooski's ops hatched up a plot to shoot up Dusky's funeral because they knew that he would be there. On the afternoon of the 22nd of October, at Dusky's funeral, soon after this picture is taken, a car turns up. People jump out of that car and begin shooting into the crowd outside the church, firing indiscriminately, but looking specifically to kill Wooski.
I remember
6 people were
this.
hit in this shooting, with Wooski himself being shot in the head, but he would miraculously survive. Only a few days after the shooting, Von would begin tweeting, I kid you not, comparing himself to Jesus, and then tweeting, laugh now, cry later, and game over, we won, with fellow O-Block shooter Muwop retweeting and agreeing with this. Over the next few years, Von would go on to drop numerous disrespectful lyrics referencing the shooting of Wooski, like on the track Grandson for President, where he raps that Wooski got shot in his head and now has to take medicine for his injuries. Von would rap on the song GTA, Who Shot Wooski? How Would I Know? Von also rapped on the track Go and Get 'Em that he will be at your funeral on time to give your mother a tissue. And then there's the lyrics on his track Back Again, where he literally says that he slides at funerals, shoots everyone outside, and that Wooski is going to feel this one. Going on to say, I bet Wooski's still twitching, he changed, something different. Those are some of the most disrespectful lyrics I have ever come across, but it's also incredibly self-incriminating. It's honestly insane that Von was getting away with stuff like this, but it really was this kind of raw and real content that attracted so many people to his music, whether or not they even knew what he was talking about. From here, Von would continue to mock Wooski throughout his career, posting disrespectful pictures to him on Instagram on a regular basis. But ultimately, despite being literally shot in the head, Wooski is still alive today in 2023 and still posting on Instagram. In fact, Wooski would indeed outlive King Von, just like he had promised him on Twitter in 2012, the day before Boss Trail died. But for the time being, Wooski would take a step back from the beef with Von and O-Block, and a newly charged King Von would go all in on his rap career, continuing to roll with Lil Durk and going on to record song after song about living the lifestyle of a shot-calling killer. But unfortunately for Lil Durk, rolling with this loose cannon would soon be causing him problems too, and it would only be a matter of months after the funeral shooting that Lil Durk would find himself in a car with a trigger-happy King Von, perhaps succumbing to peer pressure and picking up a gun of his own, with Lil Durk making a split-second decision that would nearly cost him his career and freedom. The month after the shooting at Dusky's funeral, which critically injured Wooski, King Von seemed to be worried about his reputation, tweeting that the past is always coming back to haunt him, and saying that he's not a murderer, not a rapper, not a scammer, just handsome. But also tweeting that if you play with him on the internet, he's going to your house. Perhaps behind the scenes, Von was beginning to struggle to manage his reputation. Now he was becoming a legitimate rapper in the music industry, he might have been worried about his past as a killer getting in the way of his new plans. Von said that he was having nightmares during this time, and that he was popping pills to cope. There'd be a few interesting exchanges around this time too.
And what pills would he be popping to cope? Let me know in the comments, because I'm sure I've asked this before. And I'm sure he said that before, like he's popping pills. Like, what pills are people popping?
And that he was popping pills to cope. There'd be a few interesting exchanges around this time too, like a Twitter conversation between Von and his baby mama, where Von joked that he would put her on the news, and then backtracking, having to deny being a killer. At this point, Von was clearly concerned about his reputation and was on edge to even joke about being a killer. But one person who wasn't worried about Von's reputation was Lil Durk, who was doing everything he could to put King Von on during this time. In mid-November 2018, Lil Durk previews King Von's upcoming song, Crazy Story, on his Instagram. Fans knew that something huge was coming. Lil Durk was taking Von to parties to rub shoulders with other huge rappers in the industry like YNW Melly and Roddy Ricch, even taking an enthusiastic King Von to the studio to hang out with Gunna.
Hey, Tokyo, Gun, Shalom. Okay, talking about.
Durk would even bring King Von along to his interviews, with Lil Durk's November 2018 visit to the Breakfast Club being one of the first times that the mainstream music listening public got a glimpse of King Von. and this would end up being a legendary appearance. Clearly doing all he could to put the spotlight on his friend and artist, Dirk had brought Von onto one of the most famous rap interview shows in the world.
What's your artist name, bro?
King Von.
What's up, sir?
What's up, John?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dirk would tell Charlemagne that he wanted to sign Von because of the backstory behind him, with Charlemagne not being quite prepared for the realness when Von started talking about beating his murder charge.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him.
What's the story? What's your story?
My story, I just got to jail for beat a body in 2 attempts. Like,
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
What you mean, I beat?
You didn't do it. Clearly.
Like, you know, jury, yeah, look, you know.
In the interview, you could visibly see Lil Durk trying to look out for Von and covering his tracks after Charlemagne began asking Von if he actually did the murder, with Durk butting in, saying that Von beat it because he didn't do it.
You gonna beat it. You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
Von would go on to say that he can't get a normal job in Chicago because he's done so much dirt in the streets that if he was seen working a normal job, he would probably be killed on sight.
It's like, I can't work no job in Chicago, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's,
Why not?
Why couldn't you work a job in Chicago?
I got a face card. Like, I can't.
Oh, I got you. People know
Like,
you.
say if I'm behind the counter at McDonald's, somebody coming out there do something crazy.
Yeah.
Then, at the end of the interview, as Von was explaining to Charlemagne that he had no plans after jail because he's got no experience doing anything, suddenly Dirk begins to cough, seemingly giving Von an indication not to say anything incriminating about his former life as a killer.
Okay.
What other plans did you have other than rap?
I ain't had no plan. That's the thing. Like, you get out, you got a lot of shit on your mind, so you getting that. What to do. It's like, back to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Have you no experiences doing nothing. I ain't, you know?
Word.
This interview...
Damn. Let's go back. Let me see that again. I saw that little look.
Yeah.
Word.
This interview was also the perfect opportunity for Von to promote his upcoming hit song, Crazy Story.
Crazy Story drop, like, sometime this week coming up. Sometime, like, any day.
Von would go on to tease the music video for Crazy Story, telling fans that he has a movie coming. And he would even surprise himself with the amount of comments that he got on the post about the song. Von would go on to release the audio for Crazy Story on December the 6th, 2018, just 1 day before the 1-year anniversary of him beating his murder case. Von would claim around this time to be making chess moves in the hopes that he would win at life. And his next move would indeed be a big one, with the full-blown music video for Crazy Story dropping on World Star on the 11th of December. Von himself would be
I've
amazed
reacted
at
to
racking
that.
up a whopping 110,000 views.
It's got
on his
millions
first day. But
now.
the appeal of Crazy Story was undeniable. It was a storytelling type song where Von would use his lyrics to tell an entire narrative, telling the story of himself plotting an armed robbery on a rich drug dealer and using a woman to set them up. But the robbery would go wrong when Von's ops caught him lacking, with the track ending in a shootout, and the entire story playing out in the cinematic music video for the song, with Von playing the main character and narrator. Von would end the song dropping his iconic final line where he introduced the world to his regular catchphrase, rapping from 64th and from 65th, we not from 63rd, shouting out O-Block on 64th and 65th King Drive, and dissing his ops from 63rd and St. Lawrence and Eberhart Avenues, aka Tuckerville. Dissing 63rd would become a massive part of Von's brand, and he would even later be seen selling merch showing the street sign for 63rd with a big cross over it. And the popularity of the song Crazy Story had Von's fans all over the world dissing 63rd without really even knowing what it means. Crazy Story was distributed by Lil Durk's OTF label and racked up a whopping 3 million views in a week. This is a huge hit, and today it sits over 69 million views on YouTube. Von was on a high after dropping Crazy Story. The week after the release, he would tweet a picture with the caption saying that people see you shining and forget that you're dangerous. And from here, he would make numerous tweets suggesting that the money was finally rolling in. At the end of December 2018, Dirk would hop on an Instagram live with Von with a big stack of money celebrating the success of their release.
Oh, what's that?
I got a
bro?
drop on the flex. He from Tennessee.
What that is? Confetti in your hand?
I'm playing, boy.
Now, bro. Don't throw that. Hey, you gonna break some of that out. Don't throw that, bro.
Then in the new year, King Von would begin performing his hit song at live shows, even reacting on Twitter to his new song playing on the radio, suggesting that some people might have been shocked when they heard him coming out of their car stereo. Von felt like he had truly made it at this point, tweeting that even his mother was finally proud of him and saying that he felt truly blessed for the position that he had reached in life. But some people in Chicago were surprised. Now King Von was being played on the radio, doing interviews with the Breakfast Club, and becoming a household name. Some people who knew him in Chicago, being a ruthless shooter, were giving the side eye. There was actually a really interesting Reddit thread asking people who knew of Von before 2017 to share what they thought when they saw him getting success in the music industry. Some said that they thought when he first started rapping he wouldn't get anywhere, but then when he kept progressing, it seemed like his life was a real movie. Whilst another person would say, 100% I could not believe it. When Dirk took him on Breakfast Club, it was so surreal, and he almost admitted to murder on there too. But still, I never thought he would blow up. Then Crazy Story came out and started picking up steam, and it was like, dear God, this literal gang assassin is being played at NFL stadiums. Off the back of the success of Crazy Story, King Von would begin going even harder in his music, with his next track getting even more disrespectful to the ops. On January the 9th, 2019, Mimo 600 and King Von would drop their new track, Exposing Me. And in the song, Von mentions Wooski getting shot in the head. He says that he's put in so much work in the street that Get Back Gang will now look out for him. He says outright that he was a killer before the rap, and saying, I swear I killed her, broke her back, a possible reference to K.I.'s murder.
I was about to say, is that about K.I.?
And Von even shouts out an old friend from O Block, DQ, as his shooter, suggesting that he will call a hit and have DQ shoot someone for him. It seemed like the more violent and real Von's music got, the more fans flocked to him. But since the success of his Crazy Story, and being brought under the wing of successful Chicago drill rap legend Lil Durk, Von was spending a lot of time away from the mean streets of Chicago that he had rapped about, instead beginning to get used to living the high life of a successful rapper like Durk. Rather than jumping in stolen cars and doing drills, Von was seen with Durk jumping off of luxury yachts, seemingly surrounded by people who knew his reputation well.
Okay, Durk, yo, it's on you now. This Durk scared. This scared. Okay, Von. This scared. Yeah, I'm a bitch. Look at Von. He too scared. You loud, B-boy. They talking about Von, he scared to jump. They ain't talking about you, all that savage, you scared to jump in the water.
Literally though, I think I'd be scared jumping off a boat because years ago now I went to Cyprus and I was on a boat just like that in the middle of the ocean, and I jumped off of it then, no life jacket, just myself in the middle of the ocean. But then I had to go back up and put a life jacket on because the waves started being, the ocean was motioning and it was all a bit rough, and I thought, let me just put a life jacket on, because it's a bit. But now, I don't know, if I was to go on holiday and get on a boat, would I jump into the ocean now? I don't know, I'm a bit more, I think I'm a bit more scared now, I don't know. Or if I did, I'd definitely put a life jacket on this time first. But yeah, I feel your vibe because I'm the same. I feel like I would be the same.
He scared to jump. They out here talking about you, all that savage, and you scared to jump in the water.
But all of the success Von was seeing didn't seem to change who he really was underneath. It seemed like Durk was doing his best to take a killer out of a dangerous environment and turn him into a good person and rapper. But perhaps Lil Durk didn't realize that he was also inviting that killer energy into his legitimate rap career. Because on February the 5th, 2019, around 5:49 a.m., Lil Durk and King Von were allegedly outside Atlanta restaurant, The Varsity. Here, an altercation would take place in the parking lot where allegedly Lil Durk and King Von, along with fellow OTF affiliate THF Bezu and another Chicago native named Hella Bands, would allegedly shoot and rob a man by the name of Alexander Witherspoon, allegedly targeting him for $30,000 cash that he had on him at the time. Detectives would later claim that a video showed Lil Durk shooting out of his own personal car, a custom Jeep Trackhawk with a camouflage wrap and a large 300 on the sign that he was known to own. Durk had even posted clips of this car to Twitter with the caption, "Spin, spin." Clips which even Von himself had reposted.
Why is he robbing him, though?
Analysing the scene after the shooting, and the local news would report on the shooting before even becoming aware of these famous rappers' involvement.
Police found several shell casings in this parking lot. The Varsity was closed at the time this happened, around 5:45 this morning, but this club across Spring Street was open, and one patron who was parked in the Varsity lot to go to that club told me what he went through. The man from Chicago, who goes by Gutta, returned to the Varsity parking lot this afternoon to change the tire and assess the damage on his cousin's car after it was hit by bullets.
Tired, exhausted, wild night. I'm just happy I'm alive, basically. So That's really what my main focus is.
He had just paid the cover to get into one cigar lounge across Spring Street when he heard the shots outside around 5:45 a.m. He says people hit the floor and he hid in a bathroom. Police say a 23-year-old man was in serious condition when he was rushed to the hospital after the shooting. They are now looking for a dark-colored SUV. They are doing anything they can to help Atlanta police.
The afternoon after the shooting, Von would post up on Twitter with a handful of cash and a gun on the couch next to him. Later on, posting a tweet saying you never know who's going to snitch when the cops come. Then, the day after the shooting, Von would tweet asking if you can be a killer and a good person too. A few days later, on February the 9th, 2019, Von would be seen in the background on an Instagram Live with Asian Doll, with Von talking to his friend on the phone, possibly about this very shooting. He would seemingly be telling his friend that he thinks he made all of the wrong moves and saying that the cops are now watching him.
Now, you know I ain't trying to do none of this. Oh, dude, that's so fluky. We just did the rest I took, like, together. It was fool. You just feel like you made all the wrong.
We're on Instagram Live here. We're on live. We're on live. Is it not? Does it? I'm guessing maybe doesn't know. He's on live. I don't know, but I don't know.
Together, it was fool. You just feel like you made all the wrong moves, you know, on mistake. We just tweaking on foot, you know. We just got to be tighter last time for them. Now you understand, see that look. See that's the part I was there, like everybody be tweaking with me on, oh, you know, Jason, them all in my head tweaking with me, telling like this, that, and that. But I ain't letting you know that. I'm just letting them tweaking me and trying to make sure everything decent. All the time you don't be seeing all that part. Man, I'm arguing with the man about putting on, I'm arguing with the man for show, I'm arguing with the man for this thing. I'm arguing with the man airwork, man. You think I'm doing nothing?
You talking about what the fuck he just said, actually?
Yeah, they be tweaking me, boy. I'm putting on that something.
I don't understand sometimes, y'all. Either.
Man, you right about the run. That's good, big ass. Boy, nothing to think about it, talk about this. If you have a 50 today, oh.
This whole thing is on Instagram Live.
I'm swinging on the chocolate eyes on phone. I'm knock it out like that. But, you know, I'm high. Thinking about it.
But clearly, Von wasn't too worried about the cops watching because he would tweet on February the 21st that he was ready to catch another body. And the day after, Von jumps on a reckless IG Live with fans, showing off all the money he had apparently made from features, dissing Tuka, and saying that he's not a rapper, just a gangster who raps for the money.
Hey, this is feature, man. You know, I just picked this up, little folks. What, you about to drink some, smoke some? Nah, I'm gonna smoke Tuka. You know who Tuka is? No, what is that? That's him. Ooh. He been dead for a long time. You don't know Tuka? I'm not a rapper. See, they think I'm a hoe. Nah, I'm a gangster. I just rap because they be giving me money for it.
While cops were slowly piecing together the facts about the shooting, Von was continuing with his rap career, without sparing a thought to how much self-incrimination he was doing to himself at the time. On February the 28th, Von drops a feature on Dari's song, Gang Only, where he raps, he has a lot of bodies, even saying that on his first murder, the victim thought it was a robbery. Around a week later, on March the 5th, 2019, King Von's song Wait unofficially leaks. That track has some brazen lyrics, where he says that he has more bodies than the killer from Scream, as well as admitting that he shot up Dunbar School with L.A. Capone, something he had tweeted about prior. He would also say that he remembers his first murder and saying that he missed a bunch of shots, but now his aim is better. And while these demonic tracks are circulating online, King Von and Lil Durk are having a great time flexing on Instagram Live and fighting over who has the most money and designer clothing.
Hey, you saw me flexing earlier?
No, man, I was too big.
Nickname Pop Pop. Pop Pop, no spinach. Yeah. Hold on.
I was too busy. No,
That's some what?
I just
What?
know.
What?
It's never I just married myself to death.
Who flies?
That's no matter though. You over there with 20 on?
Huh?
You over there with $20?
Don't try to count don't count my pockets on phone friends. Hey, what's wrong though? Damn. You do it too much. Them GBS and them things.
That's a couple belts.
Hey, I'm saying.
$550 your pay.
You still flexing?
Hey, got these Chanel right here.
Later on in this live, Von would joke to Lil Durk, saying that he was smoking on Lil Mark and Tuka.
I'm right here kicking a little Mark. Dirty ass. Damn. Marky.
That shit be so much yesterday, man. I was sleep in the studio.
Took a nigga, I'm the going on. I don't know about this.
But at this point, King Von was playing huge concerts to massive crowds and selling verses to other rappers all over the country and making headlines in major rap publications. King Von would tweet around this time that he was scared to go back to jail and hoping that he wasn't making the wrong decisions, and suggesting that he was worried that if he did go back to jail, all his new friends would leave him behind. But no matter how far Von got into the rap industry, he just couldn't stop toting guns and thugging. At the end of March, Von was seen riding around with Lil Durk, toting a big strap for any ops that might pull up, even joking about having more bodies than anyone in the car and saying that he's about to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
I know that he is about, like, I know that he was about that life, like, I get it, but, like, he's getting so much success, you know, he's making money, he's doing music, but it's like he seems to keep doing the same thing, if that makes sense. Like, it's like the lifestyle keeps dragging him back and something's just, you know, let me know if you know what I mean in the comments, but that's what I'm kind of getting from what I've been watching so far.
About to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
Stop playing.
They back on? Oh, they right? Yeah.
King, babe. Fuck y'all talking about my mama.
Can't hear me here about the 5'11".
Up and down we go.
And I got my voice neighbor. Cut this little back up, man. He get indicted in this.
Like,
It's over. Look, you know I'm coming out. Look.
After this, Durk had whoever was behind the wheel driving incredibly fast in that Jeep Trackhawk, with Von seemingly in fear of his life and joking that his gun is about to go off.
That's something good.
up and down we go.
Don't even go crazy. It is hope. King.
Whoa.
Riding in that steam, in that two-seater, riding with a thought to damn. Ain't no nigga live good. Ain't you gonna do? Stop. Stop doing that, man.
Where's the motherfucker now?
Stop doing that, man. It's time, so I quit.
Nah, cuz. You drag.
Stop. This sick, this go on.
Damn.
Drag,
This is a truck. Oh, my ears working out.
I'll talk to my fans for this. Yeah.
Love y'all. Everybody on up. Forward down. Love y'all. Hold this shit.
What you talking about, boy? What's wrong?
Oh, man, slow down.
Slow down, cuz.
Where you going? Slow down.
Good, slow down, cuz.
I'm gonna get off now.
Slow down, cuz.
I'd be the same way.
The slow music is gonna work.
Don't put me in a car if you're gonna be driving like that, please. I'm okay.
Scared as hell. Going 300 on that motherfucker.
I'm sweating.
Your life plan for your ass. Hey, Chopper, so y'all scream. So shut the f up.
Well, I have my seatbelt on. Hey, back seat with my. Damn, my seatbelt on.
Hey, tell
Seatbelts in this work.
Chop, shut your crybaby ass
I
up.
better get this young ass on. It's fucking cool. My hands off.
Your seatbelt, bro. You hear that motherfucker?
Yeah.
Seatbelts don't work in this car.
You trying to put the seatbelt on, bro?
Yeah, bump
Damn.
on the back seat.
I wouldn't chase me in it.
Down the ride to my area.
Now you back talking that games. You just screaming.
You just screaming like a little.
You just screaming. He text you, I love you, bro. How's I'm gonna read it, motherfucker? Fuck with me out there.
Durk and Von were clearly living the fast life at this point,
Yeah.
seemingly having faced no consequences so far for the shooting at the Varsity nearly 2 months before. However, rumours would continue to swirl about their involvement in serious crimes. On the 31st of March 2019, King Von is seen hanging out with Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, who is signed to Baton Rouge rapper NBA Youngboy, with Quando appearing in a clip on King Von's Instagram where he would diss Von's ops on 63rd.
I'm saying though, nigga, I'm 63rd. Dirty ass. I'm talking about, man. I'm
Hey, listen, old man, 64, me not 63,
It seems that back then, Von and Quando Rondo's camps were pretty cool with each other. That very same night that he was with Quando, Von is seen hanging out and hitting the stage with Lil Durk. Von would tweet a picture with Durk, along with a caption saying they've got to stay focused because their enemies envy them. The same day these pictures were taken, an altercation would take place at the Hidden Village Apartments complex in Atlanta. A man named Tyreek Livat was shot dead, with the news reporting a total of 5 people shot, the result of a huge shootout. Apparently, a large fight had broken out between 2 large groups, and an hour after the fight, one group who had left and returned got into it again and begun shooting, with 5 people being hit in the altercation, and Tyreek, unfortunately losing his life, being found dead by police in the parking lot around 10:30 p.m. The police would say that the shooter goes by a nickname, but refused to disclose it to the press, with reports on this incident making it to the TV news the following day.
Now to a developing story. A shooting leaves 1 person dead, 4 others injured. This happened at an apartment complex in southwest Atlanta. Latasha Givens is live outside of Grady Memorial Hospital. Latasha, what are we learning about their conditions this morning?
Well, Christy, police tell us this all started at a house party last night on Lantern Drive. They tell us a fight broke out between 2 large groups, and at some point a man opened fire, hitting 5 people. Let's take a look at some of that video from last night. Police tell us 1 man was found dead at the party, while 4 others were rushed here to Grady. We're told that the victims' ages range from 17 to 20, and the victims are all male. Investigators are trying to determine a motive and what happened leading up to that shooting.
After this, a rumor would circulate suggesting that King Von and THF Bezu had something to do with the shooting.
Okay.
However, Lil Durk would tweet never, just a couple of hours after the body was discovered, followed by tweeting protect the money at all costs the morning after. Von would tweet the following morning that you can do everything right and they're still going to find a way to bring you down, dissing somebody that he doesn't name. Meanwhile, another member of their entourage, Mimo600, would tweet the day after saying that people will end up on the news. For the record, there's never been any concrete evidence to indicate that Von, Durk, Bezu, or any of their entourage had anything to do with this killing. And Tyreek Livat's cousin would actually do a YouTube interview saying that he also doesn't believe that Von had anything to do with the killing either.
They said King Von killed your cousin.
That's what they saying. I don't believe it. But honestly, I think they be just attaching King Von name. I don't see it. You know, you could be with Dirk with all these fancy and, you know what I'm saying, then you over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then it don't add up.
It's highly likely that this incident had nothing to do with Von and Durk, but that didn't stop people all over the internet making King Von body count articles and videos speculating as to whether King Von was responsible for this murder too. None of this proves Von was involved, but what it does prove is that even if he wasn't involved, his reputation as a shooter would have the fans and public pointing the finger at him regularly. But as the weeks went by, Von would continue to go about his life, whilst the cops would continue building the case related to the original shooting at the Varsity. On April the 1st, the victim in the Varsity shooting, Alexander Weatherspoon, would end up being booked into a Chicago jail on unrelated charges of possession of a stolen vehicle. It seemed like the police were slowly getting closer to having something concrete, but King Von just didn't seem worried about attracting the attention of the authorities. In a social media clip uploaded on April the 2nd, 2019, King Von recorded himself singing in the back of a car with Lil Durk, dissing dead people like Dooski and saying that they almost killed Wooski.
Here we go again, here we go again, back on the road again, back on the road again, right down the avenue, right down the avenue, we catch you and you through, we catch you and you through. I don't wanna talk to you, I don't wanna talk to you, I don't really shoot, I don't really with you. Is I'm shooting right, ain't wrong. Is I'm shooting light, I'm shooting strong. Die, why?
Yeah, the little
Tuga,
man.
Zico, T3, Dooski, Wooski, almost. Fat head,
Also in April, he would tweet saying he's so real he might kill, and posting throwback pictures of him and T. Roy back when they were hitters in Chicago. He'd even post a picture of himself with a gun in his waistband and a caption saying his enemies envy him, as well as tweeting about Can't Get Right being killed in the parking lot. Von would tweet saying that he's never the victim, always the suspect. And this is all while police are still looking for a suspect in the Varsity shooting. On the 10th of April, a day before the anniversary of K.I.'s murder, King Von would tweet a cryptic message asking if the streets could be his Valentine, saying that they're tired of dying. Then, one day after the anniversary of K.I.'s death, King Von would make a biblical tweet saying, "God said to me out of his own mouth to cut her off, grandson." And grandson said, "In Jesus' name, amen." Von would even tweet reminding people that even though they see him having fun on Twitter, be careful, because he's still dangerous in real life. He would say that he'll do something to somebody if they go against him, and Von would also release a clip apparently promoting Lil Durk's new cereal, Durkios, telling people to go and buy the cereal whilst waving the clip of a gun. Von would also later tell a woman that he comes with the cereal.
If you ain't order no Durkios, that you a... Like, stop playing my mom.
These tweets.
Order.
A day later, on April the 16th, 2019, Von is on Instagram Live mocking Wooski for changing after being shot in the head, saying that Wooski doesn't diss them anymore.
He ain't been the same. He don't talk shit more, nothing, no. What the This man talk to me every day, man, DM me on more than nothing. His ass. Them bullets be changing them, man. I hope you watching, I hope you hear this your ass up, dude.
That same day, he would tweet that he doesn't chase clout, he actually chases people with guns, and tweeting that two could die for your enjoyment. He would even tweet about the crimes that he was committing in Atlanta, saying that he's been doing damage on the Chicago streets since he was young. And
sorry, my battery was dying on my laptop, so we're back.
He was committing in Atlanta, saying that he's been doing damage on the Chicago streets since he was young, and now he's ready to cause problems elsewhere. #steppers, a sentiment that apparently Lil Durk was in full support of. Durk was giving Von nothing but support during this period. He would make a cameo in the video for Von's track Cousins with Just Blow 600, another outrageously gangster anthem where King Von raps that if his ops aren't outside, then he will find and kill their cousins instead. This is an unbelievable thing to rap considering King Von's history of killing people and their cousins. But the track would have some more seemingly incriminating lyrics, like Just Blow 600, rapping that him and Von are popping pills, riding in the Jeep Trackhawk looking for ops, and killing people after fights. Von would rap that his gang's body count is 24, and he'd rap that he kills women and men and can't tell the difference. And Von would even promote the video for Cousins with a hilarious tweet, telling fans that if their cousin is cool with their ops, to go to their auntie's house right now and kill them. King Von's first tweet after posting that song was warning his ops what he would do to them if he catches them without the police around. A day after that, Von posts a picture of himself eating cereal and tweeting about having killers that want him dead and killers that look up to him. Von was also feeling generous around this time, tweeting that he had given his mother a Gucci purse and $10,000 cash, as well as openly tweeting that he still robs people. Von would even reply to a troll who asked why he's robbing people when he's a rich, successful rapper. And Von actually replied to this, saying he robs people because he doesn't want to spend his own money, he wants to spend somebody else's. But even if he was robbing, Von would soon have the music money rolling in even more. Von would begin teasing his collaboration with Lil Durk, Crazy Story 2.0, on April 29th. Then the day after this, on April the 30th, Von ends up having a funny interaction with a fan who replied to Lil Durk's teaser of Crazy Story 2.0, saying that she preferred it when King Von raps on his own. Von would reply to this saying, the song isn't part 2, it's a version 2, and that part 2 of Crazy Story is coming eventually, with the girl then trolling Von by pleading for him not to kill her, with Von face-palming and promising not to kill the woman. I mean, to me, this interaction really drives home just how absurd it is that you've got this celebrity rapper just trying to go about his career and release music, whilst it's widely known that he is a hardened killer and people are tweeting at him, begging him to not kill them too.
Yeah,
but regardless, things were going well for King Von, and Crazy Story 2.0 with Lil Durk was due to be a hit. And it seemed like King Von could do with another hit, because he had apparently blown through $150,000 by this point, encouraging fans that they can do it too if they just work hard. Von would also tweet that people talk slick until bullets rip through them. Sadly for Von, the good times would soon come to an end. King Von would return to Chicago for a hometown concert, but this would end up being cancelled on the day, with Von suggesting that somebody was out to get him. And then, on May the 4th, 2019, footage would emerge showing a huge force of over 30 Chicago police officers raiding O Block to arrest King Von, with Von himself being arrested in dramatic footage where he was tackled to the ground with an enraged mob of his friends accusing the cops of stealing his chain at the scene. And the cops even had to draw assault rifles on the crowd to keep them at bay whilst they arrested Von. Wow. In addition to those clips, the full body cam footage of King Von's arrest would later be released.
Stay on the ground. Gang. Just don't resist. Don't resist.
Gang, why y'all grabbing? What the wrong with y'all?
Let's go.
Hey, let's get my money in my street. Hold on, man. Oh, my God. I got it.
Put him in here, we're good.
Following the arrest, Von would be taken to the station where he would continue to argue with the cops.
We got your chain, big bro.
I seen you. I had to get you out the way quickly.
Damn.
At the same time, though, when you get into custody, people that be your mans wanna, especially if you drop someone on the ground, you might never see it again. They're your boys.
After Von's arrest, his furious mugshot would later be made public, and he would remain in jail for a significant stretch of time. Lil Durk would react to the news, tweeting "Free Von" with a sad face. But only the week after Von is arrested, something unexpected happened. On May the 11th, 2019, the fourth person who was in the Trackhawk on the night of the shooting, Hella Bands, would be suddenly shot and killed outside of a Miami nightclub before facing any charges, with a Miami Beach spokesperson revealing that Hella Bands was also wanted in Atlanta for attempted murder and armed robbery. After Von was picked up in Chicago and waiting to be sent back to Atlanta to face charges, 2 days later, on May the 13th, 2019, THF Bezu would also be arrested in Chicago, charged with being a fugitive from justice out of state, once again in connection with the Atlanta shooting. For the meantime, it would only be Von and Bezu in jail, with Durk remaining free and tweeting "Free Von," as well as an RIP to Hella Bands. Von would be transferred to Atlanta to face charges in connection with the shooting on May the 17th. And as usual, his sister ran his social media accounts, keeping fans updated with pictures of Von in jail. But while Von was behind bars, with his mentor Durk free, his career would keep rising in his absence. Only a couple of days later, on May the 20th, 2019, Crazy Story 2.0 drops with That Lil Durk verse. This remix of Crazy Story had King Von and Lil Durk going back to back over the original booming Crazy Story instrumental. Crazy Story 2.0 was a huge street hit, and today sits close to 100 million views on YouTube, and even landed Von his first entry on the Billboard Global 200 chart. Unfortunately, the Atlanta shooting case would also catch up to Lil Durk soon too, with Durk tweeting at the end of May that he was turning himself in, and sitting down for a TV news interview where he revealed that he was turning himself in to face these charges, and that he was also releasing a song called Turn Myself In.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah, how come?
Because I have nothing to add. Like, I have nothing to run from.
A rapper's ride. Soon after we spoke, Dirk Banks, a.k.a. the performer Lil Durk, emerged from his lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, he stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar salary music career going.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Warrants involving an incident in February on North Avenue involved charges including criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. One document indicates an Atlanta police investigator said to the best of his knowledge, Banks was employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in gang activity, shooting at the victim while co-defendants shot and robbed him.
I had a bad background, just growing up as a child, without father being incarcerated for 25 years, 26 years. So I had a rough past, but like me moving to Atlanta, I just thought that just changed my whole identity of thinking.
After Dirk and Von were in custody, an Atlanta judge revealed that they believed that there was enough evidence to charge both Dirk and Von in the attempted murder, and Dirk and Von would be seen in an iconic televised court appearance.
Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. The APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
Apparently, their defense team were looking to put forward a self-defense plea with the suggestion that it was the man who was shot who actually initiated the altercation. Then, after some legal back and forths, Lil Durk would be granted the opportunity to get out of jail on a $250,000 bond. Following this announcement, Durk was seen running out of the jail and telling fans that Von is getting out tomorrow.
Yo, be out here. Be out here. Yo, what's up? I'm getting fired as a motherfucking father, yeah. They talking 15 minutes, I'm talking 30. I'm in there. Oh, we were still waiting on the drive when it comes up. Just hop in, we waiting on the drive. And tell me, hey, you can just stay right here. Another car's about to pull up. No. I'm back.
Damn.
Hey, thank everybody for the love and support.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, supporting us, believing us, you know?
Everybody that's stream free.
Hey, I've been here so long, this Instagram feel fake. Vaughn will be on tomorrow.
Dirk was back, and he would eventually open up about his time in jail after his release, with his lawyer saying definitively he is not in a gang.
Then when you get in type of in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down so I just understand life more.
A member of his legal team says slightly more than 2 months after he surrendered to be booked into the Fulton County Jail, Lil Durk, a.k.a. Dirk Banks, did a book bag giveaway Sunday in conjunction with the Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, where kids can watch NBA players and others for free. Because it was the right thing to do, though she knows there will be critics.
It ain't nothing new pop up because of the case. We've been doing it.
That he did not do it because of the serious charges he faces after a February incident on North Avenue in which a man was wounded by gunfire, including criminal attempt to commit murder.
We'll fight our case in court.
And a gang charge.
Lil Durk validated himself as having a gang affiliation, right?
Allegedly, right.
Among others.
Being from South Southern Chicago, essentially you have to choose a gang for your safety. You don't choose a gang, you can be killed just for not being in a gang.
Is he currently in a gang?
Absolutely not. He moved to Atlanta to get away from the gang life, to get away from the streets.
Von would also be granted a $300,000 bond, being released on June the 22nd, confirmed by a tweet, of course. with Von jumping on Instagram Live fresh home from jail and dissing his baby mama, but not thinking that he would ever be getting out.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dick and thought I want coming out, suck my dick. I want to shout out everybody that's talking crazy, like my baby mama now. I've been through some. Hey, last call me a hoe, I smacked the shit out of her.
Von would go from jail straight onto house arrest, opening up about his situation on Instagram Live.
I ain't got no good shout out. I can't hear. Damn.
Part of the bail conditions were that Dirk and Von could not be around each other, as King Von would later reveal in a no-jumper interview.
Me and Dirk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or something.
But Von and Dirk would still be releasing music together. On July the 9th, 2019, Von and Dirk released their latest collab track, Like That. And despite their legal troubles, Von was still dropping lyrics hinting towards having killed K.I. and dissing Tuga. It's actually crazy to me that even whilst facing serious charges of attempted murder, both King Von and Lil Durk would continue to rap about such true criminality. Lil Durk's experiment in taking the realist gangbanger from his block and turning him into a drill rapper was going too far and jeopardizing his own career. It was only years later, after Von's death, that those charges against Lil Durk for the Varsity shooting were eventually dropped, with the district attorney saying that if King Von was still alive, he likely would have still been charged and facing trial for attempted murder. But in the end, whilst he was alive, King Von would face no real consequences for his involvement in this supposed shooting. In fact, Von would bail out from these charges and continue his career, not even choosing to keep a low profile either. In fact, even with the scrutiny of the police in 2 states, Von would go on to have one of the most successful runs in the rap game, dropping song after song of violent drill anthems, with the entire world following along and wondering how this multiple murderer just kept getting away with it.
So I'm going to leave it there. I think the next part is called King Von, the king of self-snitching. So that will be the next part I'm going to be reacting to. I think there's about an hour left now as well. So I think I'll do obviously a part 4. I don't know if I'll do a part 5. I think I'll maybe get it all done and watch it all in part 4, but I'll let you know when it comes to that time. Yeah, from this that I've watched, obviously I've seen how his career just blew up and he got a lot of success and a lot more eyes on him as well. I saw that from this part of the documentary, but it just seems that the street life seems to go back to it, and the tweeting and the Instagram lives and just saying stuff, Great part of a documentary. I keep saying it, but there's just so much information in this. If there's anything that I've just watched, the information might be wrong, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I know that you usually do let me know. Also, keep a lookout for part 4. Also, I'm going to be doing the story of the Get Back Gang as well. I'm going to do that documentary. So just keep a lookout, be patient, and I'll be back with all of those reactions. Make sure you follow me on Instagram so you're kept in the loop so you know when I'm dropping new reaction videos as well. And I will see you very, very soon in the next video. Bye.